Alright, till we gonna react to King Von didn't know he was live and did this. Boom.
Rising from the notorious O Block of Chicago, King Von's life was a relentless show of violence, petty feuds, and displays of dominance. From flashing firearms during live streams to issuing death threats over Instagram,
I choke you all my hands and beat you.
King Von's every action was steeped in controversy, painting a clear picture of a star
That
who
boy
lived
was
and
really
died by the
violent.
code of the streets. King Von flashes gun on camera. The Chicago rapper King Von was not just famous for his music, but also for his reputation for violence and his petty nature. These traits were not just rumors, he showed them off publicly. One of the clearest examples of this is a video where King Von is seen holding 3 guns. In the video, he smiles and says,
I wish I had another head so I could be drinking while I'm doing it.
This clip shows just how much King Von loved guns and violence. He wasn't shy about it. He seemed to enjoy showing off his guns and making it clear that he wasn't afraid to use them. His friend's excitement in the video only adds to the sense that this was normal for him, something to be proud of. King Von's love for violence wasn't just an act for the camera. It was a big part of who he was. He often talked about his tough life in his music, sharing stories about fights, shootings, and run-ins with the police. These weren't just stories, they were his reality. Von was born into this life of gangs, guns, and violence. His father, Walter Bennett, was one of the most feared black disciples in the whole of Chicago, and he grew up under this influence. At the age of 11, on July 31st, 2005, Von's father got shot by an unseen gunman, and it was at that moment, without any parental guidance at the age of 13, that Von found solace in the hands of the gangs of O Block Chicago. King Von was no stranger to the law. His legal troubles started early, reflecting a chaotic lifestyle that often put him at odds with authorities. In 2011, at just 16 years old, King Von found himself behind bars for armed robbery, a charge that set the tone for his future encounters with the legal system.
Me growing up, when I got in trouble early, 15 years old, that's so I ain't never been grown until like right now because I've been in jail.
From an early age, he had already started causing a lot of mayhem and racking up bodies. In a tweet, Von said he was going to go on an all-out killing spree. A killing spree. I swear that's...
Damn. He all killing spree. I swear that's what's finna go on. Nah, yeah, he's bugging, bro.
What's finna go on? And he did, in fact, catch a lot of bodies. First was Modell McCambry, a gangster who had ties with the deadly Chicago gang, Gangster Disciples, rival gang of Von's gang. Modell was shot on October 13th, 2012, while he was on his way to see a girl. Another shooting that happened that same day was also linked to Von Miles Turner, Modell's cousin, who was with him when the shooting happened. The teenager had seen everything and had tried to save Modell from bleeding out on the cold cobble grounds. Von, with his best friend T. Roy, wanting no witnesses, shot the teenager, but Miles survived, landing him in a coma for weeks and ended up as a paraplegic who now relies on a wheelchair. A few weeks later, on October 29, 2012, King Von would allegedly catch Derek Johnson, also known as P5, coming out of his house at 9:13 a.m. and gun him down, killing him. King Von is also linked to a hit and run that happened on 63rd Street that claimed the life of Dale Fisher, a 16-year-old boy who had just left a recreational center to go to a store. The police never really confirmed this claim, and Von walked free without suffering any consequences. Another claim also linked Von to the murder of Marlon Monroe, another cousin of Modell McCambry, who Von murdered. Von's reign of terror seemed to have no end until 2014, on his prom night, when he was pictured holding a gun in front of O Block while dressed in his all-white suit for prom. Before heading off to prom, Von took to social media to issue a threat to whoever was going to be on the other end of his gun. He tweeted, "Somebody I try me, I got a suit on. MF still ain't that slow," before tweeting, "Going off to prom." Later that night, it would be reported that Von went on it.
Nah, you gotta be a sick individual to tweet this right after, bro. Like,
shooting spree in his suit, injuring a number of people. The federal officers got called in, and before Von was arrested, his last tweet simply said, "Loose screws get nailed," signifying that everyone who was not allied to him was going to get what was coming to them. In a later interview, his friend Omuna would say, "That Von had a Ruger with a 30 in his damn hand taking prom pictures. He the only MF with us that got a gun on the way to prom." Because of this, Von was charged with attempted murder and gun charges, and he served a few months before he got released. As time went on, Von would also get involved in a lot of personal beefs with rival gang members, notably K.I., the lethal gangster disciple known for dropping bodies in her wake. The beef between them would slowly burn, hovering between threats and outright flirtations, but that wouldn't last forever. On April 11, 2014, the beef between Von and K.I. turned deadly. K.I. was standing with a group outside a residence on the 6400 block of South Eberhart when a hooded figure approached and opened fire on her, hitting her 9 times, with a bullet hitting her neck. She was rushed to the hospital but died from the bleeding in the neck, marking a tragic end to her involvement in Chicago's gang conflicts. A few days after K.I.'s death, Von tweeted, "Lost a lot of money, so y'all finna get dropped 4 niggas. They should've never freed me. They don't let a menace out. All eyes turned to Von as
Will called it himself.
Drop 4 niggas. They should've
Homie
never
said they should've never freed me. They don't They don't let him menace out.
Free,
Damn.
don't let him menace out. All eyes turned to Vaughn as police investigation
what?
pointed to him as a prime suspect, with witnesses who allegedly
Ain't he calling
identified him
himself
as the
that, bro?
shooter.
Like-
King Vaughn faced intense interrogation from the Chicago Police Department. But despite how serious the accusations were, the evidence available was not enough. Later that year, King Vaughn was once again facing the wrath of the law for another murder. Vaughn was implicated in the death of Malcolm Stuckey, a college student who was present at a house party in Chicago. During the party, Vaughn and members of his rival gang engaged in a shootout.
Play War Thunder
How
now.
many shooters
Join
they be
millions of players.
engaging, bro? Like, godly. They just be
It led
bugging
to
out.
murder charges and several counts of attempted murder against Vaughn, as he was accused of firing at a group of people, injuring 2 others. Given the gravity of these accusations, a conviction could have resulted in substantial prison time for Vaughn. The legal proceedings extended until 2017, during which Vaughn spent about 3.5 years in jail awaiting trial. During his time in jail, he was known for his disrespectful acts towards both inmates and law enforcement officers. Reports from those familiar with his time in jail described numerous confrontations with other inmates. Vaughn was involved in
That boy
several
was
fights, often
on
exhibiting
time
a
and every
ruthless and
time in jail.
confrontational attitude. His reputation for being combative and uncooperative made him a notorious figure within the correctional facilities where he was held. In one particular incident, Vaughn and the other inmates were being corralled into holding cells when he recognized a very familiar face, a member of their rival gang known as Old 51 Freaky. Without wasting any time, Vaughn managed to slip out of his handcuffs and attack Freaky,
And I
who
don't
was
even
caught
know
off
how
guard.
you
and
do
couldn't
that, though,
defend
bro. I
himself.
seen that.
Vaughn punched him over and over again, not caring for his pleas.
Like,
2
what?
other inmates, who were allies of Vaughn, joined the beatdown. The guards intervened just in time to prevent further injury, separating Vaughn and Freaky into different cells. After the fight was broken up, the authorities questioned Vaughn about how he had managed to escape his handcuffs. His response was characteristically vague.
How'd you get out of your cuffs? You thought you were still in them?
Despite his aggressive behavior, Vaughn's loyalty was undeniable. The reason behind his
Bro.
attack on Freaky was a tattoo that
Homie said I thought that
disrespected
was
Vaughn's
still-
fallen comrade,
still
L.A.
on.
Capone.
No
When
way.
interrogated by the police about the fight, Vaughn's response was brief.
You don't want to explain what happened? You refusing to give a statement?
That's my statement right there.
In addition to physical altercations, Vaughn's interactions with the police
Man, he
officers
too
and
smart,
prison
man.
staff were equally troubling. He frequently displayed rudeness and hostility, often refusing to comply with orders and mocking authority figures. Videos from his time in jail reveal incidents where he openly challenged officers, leading to disciplinary actions and further isolation.
Tell me what happened on 3B.
You came and got me out my cell.
That's it?
You made me pack my stuff. And you punched me when I was walking out.
Would you like to press charges?
Oh, you?
Would you like to press charges on the person you were fighting?
You the only one that hit me.
Yo,
Okay.
Another notable incident involved a guard, referred to
Yo,
by inmates
homie
as the
is
white
too
shirt
much,
due to his
bro.
uniform, who entered Vaughn's cell under the pretext of a routine check. Words were exchanged, escalating quickly into a confrontation. The guard's movements were perceived as too aggressive, and Vaughn reacted immediately. He claimed self-defense, asserting that the guard had pushed him first.
It was a refusal. The inmate didn't want to come and seal me. So the white shirt came. The white shirt came in the room and said, go to the back. I told him I need to talk to him. Instead of talking, he just pushed me, got to punch him. Grabbed him by my hair, slammed him in the toilet. Other COs rushed in. They handcuffed. They brought me downstairs.
In addition to engaging in fights and showing disrespect to both fellow inmates and police officers, Vaughn was notorious for inciting even more significant disruptions. On April 15, 2017, King Vaughn, along with other inmates, attempted to set fire to the Cook County Prison just for fun. The fire raged on for some minutes, but fortunately it was put out before it could cause any serious
I remember
damage.
seeing that
Vaughn's
too,
legal
bro.
battles
They
ended
just
in
be idling in
2017
there.
when he was
What the
found
hell?
not guilty of the charges against him. However, this acquittal and the time he spent locked up did nothing to stop Vaughn from going back to his old life, this time with a newfound ferocity and confidence that comes with being locked up. In a tweet he made after being released, he bragged, saying, "I can name 5 GDs I didn't killed and 10 I shot." This shocked many people as it showed his deep involvement in gang violence. The tweet added more heat to the
At this point, you just find this to be like a game. Ain't no way, bro. You just keep tweeting and writing about this, bro.
ongoing fights in Chicago, making things worse between rival gangs.
this is
His open talk about
sweet
killing and
and,
shooting
like-
people highlighted the tough life he led on the streets, where such acts were seen as a badge of honor. The tweet gave us a glimpse into his mind. He was a man who valued his street credibility against the number of bodies he had dropped. His reign of terror did not
Ridiculous,
just stop
bro.
at gang rivals. Vaughn was known for his pettiness and his inability to take a joke. The truth is, if you come for Vaughn, be ready to accept what's coming for you. He was always ready for violence, even to the point of threatening fans who thought it wise to give him suggestions on how to live his life. Petty King Von One striking example of Von's pettiness involved a 15-year-old fan named HV Larry. This young fan sent Von a direct message on Instagram, trolling him after the death of his close friend T-Roy. The message read, saying the one who kept dissing who tried to bring peace to your city. You one immature you a goofy. It's sad because I like your music, but you just one immature. Instead of ignoring the taunt or responding diplomatically like those in the public eye tended to do, Von lashed out with a venomous reply. He texted back, "Who and everybody dead, you know, I'm a gangster." Not stopping there, he sent a voice note, his voice dripping with malice, saying,
"You know how you feel? You a shorty on, oh, I'll kill you. Yo, as a little boy, I'll choke you out your hands and beat the shit out you."
This response was shockingly aggressive, especially considering the age of the
he's
fan.
bugging
Von's
now.
willingness
No
to
way,
threaten
bro.
violence over a message showed a level of pettiness that few would expect from a celebrity. In another instance, a fan tried to talk to Von about cooling off on his beef with fellow rapper NBA Youngboy. The fan texted, "Why is you dissing YB like that? Looks so dumb to me. Come on, you beat it, Dan. Stop being so immature all the time." This simple suggestion was enough to trigger Von. He wasted no time in responding with an audio message where he said, "You get off my DM before I Eon care, stop playing with me, man."
Yo,
Von's
what?
response was not only petty, but also frighteningly aggressive, showcasing his intolerance for any form of criticism. Another revealing moment of Von's pettiness occurred during an Instagram live session. Meme account owner, known for trolling King Von, appealed to Von to let him go after he had previously trolled Von. The troll had received threatening messages from Von, including one that said, "I'll hurt you." In another message, Von had sent the troll a Google Maps location pin saying, "This where you live." This act of tracking down the troll's address and threatening them showed a disturbing level of commitment to his pettiness. The troll, clearly scared, replied, "Bro, chill. It's just a joke. I was gonna unsend bro, chill." However, Von's message was clear. No one messed with King Von without facing consequences. These instances paint a picture of a man who took offense easily and responded with overwhelming aggression. He threw caution to the wind regarding
with the
morals
people
and
in the
wouldn't think
streets
twice to
or
spit
the
on the
fans.
grave of
He's
anyone
like
who crossed it.
timing.
Whether dealing with a young fan, a concerned follower, an online troll, or a gang rival, Von's
he's on
reactions were marked by an intense need to assert his dominance and instill fear. Von's pettiness and aggression extended beyond his interactions with fans. He was known for his ruthless attitude towards anyone he perceived as a threat or a source of disrespect. This behavior was consistent with his reputation as a gang member and someone deeply entrenched in a violent lifestyle, racking up conflicts wherever he turned. This lifestyle stayed with him even as he left the streets and attained nationwide fame. Like they say, you can take the boy out of the streets, but you cannot take the streets out of the boy. King Von began beefing with fellow artists. The beef between King Von and FBG Duck was one of the most notorious in the Chicago rap scene, driven by their affiliations with rival gangs, the Black Disciples for King Von and the Gangster Disciples for FBG Duck. The tension escalated through diss tracks and social media exchanges. Key moments in their beef included several diss tracks and heated exchanges on social media. One of the early instances that escalated the tension was King Von's song Crazy Story, where he vividly described street violence and gang rivalries. Although not directly naming FBG Duck, Von took shots at FBG Duck's neighborhood, disrespecting him. "Boy, we put in work from 64th and from 65th. We not from 63rd, King Von rapped. FBG Duck responded with, "I'm from 63rd, directly targeting Von and his affiliations, setting social media ablaze with provocations. This rivalry reached its peak with increasingly provocative tracks and social media insults, tragically culminating in Duck's fatal shooting in August 2020. King Von also clashed with Tekashi 69, initially acknowledged as rising stars, but soon embroiled in conflict due to Tekashi's provocative trolling, which included targeting Chicago rappers close to Von. The situation intensified with Tekashi's post-prison antics and the release of Trolls with Nicki Minaj, which Von saw as a betrayal. Tekashi's provocations continued even after Von's death, mocking him on social media and fueling the fire with taunts aimed at Lil Durk. Before being involved in Tekashi's antics, Von was locked in raging conflicts with FBG Wooski. Their beef, another intense rivalry, started early with both belonging to rival gangs. Their conflicts played out through music and social media, with Von's Problems and Wooski's Computers remix serving as lyrical battlegrounds. The rivalry turned deadly with the shooting at Dusky, the man's funeral, where Wooski was shot but survived, leading to more taunts from Von and his mentor Lil Durk. Lastly, the tension between King Von and Youngboy NBA grew from subtle social media jabs to overt provocations, including Von's criticisms of Youngboy's authenticity on Instagram Live. As Youngboy's Play With Us played in the background, Von criticized the lyrics, saying,
Youngboy time
I say not like that.
You talking crazy on this man.
Oh, yeah?
He ain't even like that.
Oh!
On his now.
On his
Yeah.
Cap. You got Cap
homie's
in
a
your
troll,
raps.
Youngboy remained silent even after this direct jab. Vaughn went further to post a picture with Youngboy's baby mama, taunting him. Youngboy retaliated with a social media post involving his son, escalating the conflict. This beef involved allies like Quando Rondo, whose confrontation with Vaughn outside an Atlanta hookah lounge led to Vaughn's tragic death in November 2020. Vaughn's death reflected the dark reality of the life he had set himself up to live. He was a star that was destined to shine, but the street life which he had proudly lived by had cut his life short.
Life just caught
Sadly,
up to
Vaughn
him.
wouldn't be the first or the last promising talent to be lost to the violence of the streets. Other rappers who have died from gun violence. FBG Duck, born Carlton Weekly, was a key figure in the drill music scene. His music often depicted the harsh realities of street life, and his association with the STL EBT faction of the Gangster Disciples made him a target in a feud with the Black Disciples, particularly their O-Block faction. On August 4th, 2020, FBG Duck was shopping on East Oak Street when he was attacked by shooters. Witnesses reported a barrage of up to 21 shots that struck Duck and 2 others, including his girlfriend, outside the Dolce & Gabbana store. First responders were called to the scene.
I remember seeing that too when it happened.
Wounded, the community grappled with the reality that the violence they so often heard in his music had claimed his life.
Bro.
It was later revealed that a bounty starting at $50,000 and later doubled to $100,000 had been placed on Duck's head. This information, provided by informants, pointed to an orchestrated hit with ties to the Black Disciples street gang and their O-Block faction. The fallout from Duck's death rippled through the streets of Chicago and into the heart of the music industry, serving as a stark representation of the cycle of retaliation that fuels gang violence and is often glorified in drill music. Similarly, the tragic fate of Takeoff, born Kirsnick Kari Ball, highlights the perilous intersection of fame and violence in the hip-hop industry. Takeoff, member of the influential hip-hop group Migos, was known for his unique flow and contributions to hits like Versace and Bad and Bougé. On the night of his death, October 31st, 2022, Takeoff, alongside his uncle and fellow Migos member Quavo, attended a private party at 810 Billiards and Bowling in Houston, Texas. Around 2:30 a.m., as the party spilled into the streets, an argument erupted outside the bowling alley. The heated exchange escalated rapidly, and in the chaos, gunshots shattered the night. Takeoff, who had been playing dice with Quavo, was struck by gunfire in a senseless act of violence that stunned onlookers. Officers arrived at the scene to find a crowd of approximately 40 to 50 people in disarray. Amid the confusion, Takeoff lay motionless, with devastating injuries that would prove fatal. The Houston Police Department confirmed that Takeoff had suffered multiple gunshot wounds to the head and torso. Despite the immediate response of a nearby nurse, suffered multiple gunshot wounds to the head and torso. Despite the immediate response of a nearby nurse who rushed to his aid, Takeoff was pronounced dead at the scene. Harrowing end to a life filled with so much promise. The tragic story of Pop Smoke, born Bashar Baraka Jackson, further emphasizes the deadly risks faced by rising stars in the rap world. Pop Smoke, rising star in Brooklyn's drill music scene, gained fame with his 2019 hit Welcome to the Party and his mixtape Meet the Woo. However, his rapid rise was cut short in February 2020 during a home invasion in Hollywood Hills. On the night of February 18, 2020, Pop Smoke hosted a gathering at a rented Hollywood Hills mansion. In the early hours of February 19th, a group of masked intruders shattered the peace. Pop Smoke, who had accidentally revealed the address of the mansion on social media, became the target of a home invasion. The robbers, seeking valuables and cash, confronted the 20-year-old rapper. According to a 15-year-old suspect's later testimony, Pop Smoke initially complied with their demands, but then attempted to fight back. In the ensuing struggle, he was pistol whipped and shot, a brutal end to a life filled with so much promise. The emergency services were called at 4:30 a.m., but despite their efforts, Pop Smoke was pronounced dead at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center. The news of his death sent ripples of grief and disbelief throughout the music world and his hometown of Brooklyn, extinguishing a bright light in the hip-hop community. Jesse Dwayne Ricardo Onfroy, known as XXXTentacion and popularly called X by fans, also met a violent end that shocked the music world, rising to fame through SoundCloud with his raw, emotionally charged music. His turbulent childhood and legal troubles often influenced his work. On the afternoon of June 18, 2018, the life of 20-year-old Yaze Onfroy took a tragic and irreversible turn. Visiting a motorcycle dealership in Deerfield Beach, Florida, his outing was interrupted by a robbery. As X exited the dealership and approached his black BMW, a dark-colored SUV pulled up, gunshots rang out, a Louis Vuitton bag was snatched, and X was left slumped in the driver's seat. The news of the shooting spread rapidly. sending ripples of disbelief through the community and across social media platforms. Fans and bystanders watched in horror as an eyewitness video surfaced, showing the stark image of X lifeless in his car, an image that would haunt many for days to come. PNB Rock, born Rakeem Allen, was another rising star who met his death at the violent hands of the streets. He was dining with his girlfriend at Roscoe's House of Chicken and Waffles in South Los Angeles on September 12, 2022. His girlfriend had shared their location on Instagram a few moments ago to commemorate the moment, not knowing that this would soon turn into a tragic day. The couple was enjoying their meal when suddenly a man entered the restaurant flashing a gun. The man, intent on robbery, demanded PNB Rock's jewelry and other valuables. In the chaos that followed, PNB Rock tried to comply with the demands, but the situation escalated quickly. The man shot PNB Rock multiple times in front of horrified diners and his girlfriend. As the gunman fled the scene, bystanders rushed to help the wounded rapper, and emergency services were called immediately. Paramedics arrived and transported PNB Rock to a nearby hospital, where doctors worked tirelessly to save his life. Despite their best efforts, PNB Rock succumbed to his injuries and was pronounced dead. The brutal attack in broad daylight shocked the music community and his fans worldwide. Authorities launched an investigation to track down the perpetrator, who had vanished into the Los Angeles streets. The violent deaths of these rappers reflect a dark reality that extends beyond their music. FBG Duck, Takeoff, Pop Smoke, XXXTentacion, and PNB Rock, just like King Von, each left a significant mark on the industry, their deaths underscoring the dangerous path that fame can entail within the volatile environment of the rap world. Did you enjoy?
For real, bro. That's insane. It's always robberies, crime, gangs. Like, it don't even make sense for real, bro. But man, if y'all like this video, y'all know what to do already. And we out.